Hello and good morning. This is the reveal assignment here in room 234. I did this demo in class for some of my classes, some I did not. So this screencast is for those who did not see it live or who wanted to revisit the topic. Okay, so just to show you what the end result is going to be before I get started, I'm going to scrub my playhead to the left here. Hit play, and we see this kind of fun little reveal and hideaway, and I'm using masks here to hide this text layer kind of anywhere down here. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So I'm going to stop this. I'd like to clear up some of this mess here, so I'm going to make a new project. And from here, we're going to make a new composition. So I'm going to look into the composition menu, choose new, and we'll call this reveal. You should have this 640 by 480 if you're following along with me. Also, the duration should be 2 seconds. And for background color, we're going to go with blue again. That's good. From here, click OK. You may choose whatever color you like. And it's a little too bright, so I'm going to go onto the composition menu, choose composition settings. That will bring back that same window that we had before, and I'm going to kind of dull this a little bit. Okay, too much blue before. That's better. The first step in this animation is to make a horizon line, because we're going to make some text kind of rise up like a sunrise on the horizon. So to do that, we'll make a shape. Look here in your rectangle tool or whatever shape you made previously. I'm going to click and hold, select the rectangle tool. For this demo, we're going to use a fill but no stroke. So if your stroke looks like this, you have to hold down the Option key on your keyboard and click on the mouse once, twice, thrice. And then I like this gray color for fill, but if you want to change the fill color, you may. And we're going to create a very thin line across the middle of this composition. So to do that, I'm just going to start anywhere out here in this gray area and click and drag across. And it's going to be thin. I think kind of the thinner the line, the better you'll understand the effect that the mask is having on your text layer. So we're going to do about yay high. And I'm going to use the align tool to make sure that it's totally in the middle of my composition. So under the window menu, choose align. And I'm going to choose, I think it's this one, vertical center alignment. Yep. So that's the 5th button here in the align window. Vertical center alignment. Looking good. I'm going to grab my selection tool here, and you'll see in my timeline I have my shape layer. I'm going to click on this, hit return, and call it horizon. And return again to set that. Okay, so now I know what this layer is actually doing or showing in my composition. Close this. Next thing I'll do is add my text. So I'll grab the type tool here, click once, and click anywhere down below. We're going to start kind of designing our animation with the text below the horizon line. So click there. I'm going to type what we saw before. Good morning. And then when I bring my cursor away from the text, it turns into a move tool. See that? So when I'm hovering over the text, I can select it. When I bring the cursor away from the text, there's the move tool. So now I can kind of click and drag this over. I can make sure this is perfectly lined up here. I'm going to look under the align window. And this time we're going to do the horizontal center alignment. So while the type layer is selected, click on the horizontal center alignment in the align window, and that will line it up perfectly. I choose my selection tool again. Okay, so let's start animating this. I've got my text right where I want it. I have my horizon line right where I want it. Now, where the text is here, I'm going to make this animation so that whenever the text is below the horizon line, it's going to be hidden. So let's start animating this. Select the type layer, hold down the keyboard shortcut, which is Option P, because we're going to animate the position of this layer. And so I've basically told After Effects that at 0 frames here at the very beginning of my animation that this good morning text is going to be right here in this position. The next thing I'm going to do is drag my time indicator over to about 20 frames. And since we've already begun animating this, since I have this little stopwatch here that's blue for position, if I come up here and manually change the position, it's going to create a new keyframe for me automatically. So let's do that. I'm going to click and drag it up. And if you kind of veer off to the left a little bit, hold down the Shift key while you're dragging, and that will snap the text back into place. I'm going to let go of the mouse, then the Shift key. So you'll notice now I have a keyframe at 0 frames that we made by holding down Option P. And then I have this keyframe here that we've made simply by dragging the text up above the horizon line. Okay, so now I'm going to scoot my playhead over to the right a little bit at 1 second. So at 1 second, this is where I want the text to start dropping down again. So I'm going to make a new keyframe here because I want the text to kind of stay in this position. So it's animated from here to here, but then if we play this until 1 second, it's going to stay there. So I need to manually create a new keyframe to tell it to stay there. Option P for another position keyframe. So this is starting to look familiar to you all. Now I'm going to drag my playhead to the very end of this animation. Zoom out a little bit. That's what these little mountain icons are. Okay, so we see my first, second, third keyframe, and now at the end I'm going to make a new one by, well, we could do it a couple different ways. I'm actually just going to once again drag this text down, so we are automatically making a keyframe. Hold down Shift. Notice there's a little diamond now, a fourth diamond in my timeline, like so. So you can make keyframes either by doing Option P or simply changing the value of the position if you've already animated that position. So now I've got a nice little animation where good morning is rising the horizon. Okay. Hit stop. Let's put the horizon line at the very top. So click and drag this layer here, just like in Photoshop, above good morning. So now when I hit play, it's at least going behind that horizon line. Okay, now to make the mask real quick. Very simple to do. I'm going to make a rectangle. Begin by clicking away from all your layers here. So I'm going to click down in this gray area. Select the rectangle tool. And then I'm going to make a rectangle starting basically anywhere up above the text. And I'm going to draw it across on top of this horizon line. So to see what I mean, let's just click and drag it. It actually doesn't matter what the color is, it's going to block the text, that's okay. And just kind of line it up here right on top of the horizon line. Okay, so I've made this box now. That creates a new layer called shape layer. So click on that and hit return on the keyboard. And I'm going to rename this mask. Hit return again. Okay. Next thing we need to do is get the order right. So in order to get this mask working correctly, I need to have it directly above the layer that I want to mask. In this case, the good morning layer. So what this mask is doing is that anywhere the text shows up in this area, it's going to be visible. Everywhere outside of that area, it's going to be hidden. So I'm going to drag my mask layer right above my good morning layer, like so. So your layer should be something like this: the horizon layer you made, the mask layer you made, and your text layer. Now I need to look in my type layer here, and we need to tell it to have a track mat. So track mat can be found here in this area. So we have the layer name, the mode, and the track mat. If you don't see this, most likely your After Effects window looks like this, right? So I can toggle, these are called the switches. These are the modes. So you can toggle switches and modes by clicking on this button. You want to see the modes, and in your type layer, good morning, under the track mat menu, you're going to choose alpha matte mask. And a couple things happen. Your text disappears and that shape layer, that mask layer, disappeared. So now when I click and drag through, behold, a mask hiding anything below this horizon line. Let's hit play to play this. Beautiful. Love it, love it, love it. Little mechanical, so I'm going to hit stop, and very quickly we're going to ease. We're going to do easy ease, I think, on these two middle keyframes. So I'm going to click, or right click on a keyframe, choose Keyframe Assistant. So on the second keyframe you want to do easy ease in. On the third you want to do easy ease out. If in doubt, just choose easy ease. And hit play. So it raises, drops, raises, drops. You can play with the timing a little bit by dragging the keyframes around. So now it's gonna raise and drop quicker. So here's where it starts going up, and then it hangs out here for a while, and then here's where it starts going down. So you'll see it hang above that horizon line longer. And also the drop and rise is a little quicker. Okay, killer. Love it. Let's render it. File, export, add to render queue. The render queue shows up where the timeline window was, where it says output to. Click on this little link here. Yours might say not yet specified, or it might say reveal. Click on that little link. It will tell you where it's going to go, what you're going to name it. I'm putting mine on my desktop. Click save, and then the last step is always click render. Let me turn my volume down a little bit. Okay, very quiet. You might or might not have heard that. That's it. Make this a GIF, put it up on your WordPress account, and have a great rest of your day. Thank you.